Hello, this is Sabika Sayyad and welcome to the Print Headlines. Rahul Gandhi demands accountability for police action on students, asks PM Modi to apologize. Addressing a press conference at the AICC headquarters, Rahul Gandhi criticized the police action against students during the July 20 protest march to Parliament and called for those responsible for the assault on protesters to be held accountable. He also urged Prime Minister Narendra Modi to apologize to the students. Gandhi said, and I quote, "What wrong have our students done to have security forces aiming weapons at them, beating them up?" Addressing the media, Rahul Gandhi presented figures highlighting that India's families spend in total on the NEET examination as much money as the centre allocates to education in its annual budget. Delhi Metro today had shut 16 stations citing security reasons, open now. At least 16 metro stations in Delhi, including Rajiv Chowk, Central Secretariat, Mandi House, were closed today morning, citing security reasons, the DMRC said. They have now been opened. The closures came amid the ongoing Cockroach Janata Party protest at Jantar Mantar. Delhi police registers 10 FIRs so far in connection with July 20 march. A total of 10 FIRs have been registered so far in connection with the July 20 CJP-led Parliament March in Delhi. Police station-wise breakup of the FIRs is 4 FIRs at Parliament Street Police Station, 3 at the Connaught Place Police Station, 1 at the Mandir Marg Police Station, 1 at the Barakhamba Road Police Station, and another at the Kartavya Path Police Station. According to the police, the FIRs have been registered over various incidents that occurred during the protest as well as matters related to law and order. The investigations are ongoing. Government says ready to discuss paper leak. Kharge says Pradhan must resign first. Repeated adjournments continued in Parliament's monsoon session proceedings for the third consecutive day today as opposition remains firm about the resignation of Union Education Minister Dharmendra Pradhan. While Union Ministers Kiran Rijiju and JP Nadda in the Rajya Sabha said that the government is ready to discuss NEET UG paper leak and other issues, leader of opposition in the Rajya Sabha Mallikarjun Kharge said Dharmendra Pradhan must resign first for a fair discussion to take place in the parliament. Dharmendra Pradhan meets Om Birla as government agrees to discuss NEET paper leak in Lok Sabha. Union Education Minister Dharmendra Pradhan met Lok Sabha Speaker Om Birla today as the government agreed to a discussion on the NEET paper leak in the Lok Sabha. According to officials, Pradhan met Om Birla in the parliament soon after the government told the Lok Sabha that it is willing to hold a detailed discussion on the NEET paper leak issue. CJP urges Sonam Wangchuk to end fast, says movement will continue. The Cockroach Janata Party appealed to activist Sonam Wangchuk today to end his hunger strike, requesting him to prioritize his health while vowing to carry forward the campaign for examination justice. Wangchuk is on day 25 of his indefinite fast in support of students, seeking resignation of Union Education Minister Dharmendra Pradhan over the lack of accountability following the NEET paper leak issue. CJP founder Abhijit Deepke also questioned PM Modi's silence on the issue, even as Sonam Wangchuk's fast entered day 25. Wangchuk says, "Before I break fast, want assurance that punitive action won't be taken against protesting students." After receiving several requests to end his fast, activist Sonam Wangchuk said that he would break his fast if the government assures that no punitive action is taken against protesting students. Wangchuk said in a letter referring to his meeting with Union Ministers JP Nadda and Jitendra Singh, and I quote, "During our discussion, you assured me that the government would positively consider the following. Point 1. Adequate compensation for the families of students who committed suicide following the examination paper leak. A meaningful discussion in Parliament to ensure accountability, including consideration of the resignation of the Education Minister." He added, and I quote, "I respectfully request an unequivocal assurance from the government that none of the young protesters will face any punitive or retaliatory legal action for participating in this movement. Their only offense has been to raise their voice for a fair and accountable education system." Union Ministers Nadda, Jitendra Singh meet Wangchuk at Medanta Hospital in Gurugram. Both JP Nadda and Jitendra Singh spent over an hour with Sonam Wangchuk at the hospital inquiring about his health and conveyed the government's decision to initiate a debate in Parliament. Delhi High Court asked Delhi Police Centre to respond to pleas over use of excessive force during July 20 protest march. The Delhi High Court sought responses from the centre and the Delhi Police today on pleas alleging excessive use of force against protesters during the Cockroach Janata Party-led march to Parliament on July 20. A bench of Chief Justice D.K. Upadhyay and Justice Tejas Karya directed the authorities to preserve all relevant records in relation to police action, including CCTV camera footage and any videography. CJI Khan declines to take cognizance of police violence during CJP's Parliament March. The Supreme Court today declined to initiate suo motu proceedings to take cognizance of alleged police excesses during the July 20 crackdown on student protesters in the national capital. When a lawyer submitted that there was videographic evidence of police brutality against the protesters, Chief Justice of India Suryakant orally declined to examine the videos, saying that the court's time should not be wasted. The Chief Justice orally remarked, and I quote, "We are not interested in videos. We don't have time to watch them." MK Stalin says abolition of NEET only solution to students' issues. DMK President and former Tamil Nadu Chief Minister MK Stalin today said, more than any other demand, the abolition of NEET must be at the heart of students' protests in New Delhi. Stalin said, only scrapping NEET will provide a long lasting solution to all these problems. The DMK president said, and I quote, "We were the first to warn that NEET was designed to enable large scale irregularities. That is why the DMK has opposed NEET from the very beginning, consistently pointing out the dangers it poses." Former Odisha Chief Minister Naveen Patnaik demands resignation of Education Minister Dharmendra Pradhan. The Biju Janata Dal president and former Chief Minister Naveen Patnaik has also demanded the resignation of Union Education Minister Dharmendra Pradhan amidst mounting pressure on the Narendra Modi government from opposition parties over NEET paper leak and examination reforms. Terming the situation very serious and very grave, he said a number of students were violently attacked and injured in the protests. Allahabad High Court says nothing can shame people unfazed by Ram Temple donation theft. Taking up the issue of alleged embezzlement of donations at the Ram Temple in Ayodhya, Justice Atul Sridharan of the Allahabad High Court has observed that nothing can shame those who are unfazed by the development. He simultaneously criticized the systemic corruption plaguing Indian institutions, noting that the recent theft of donations at the Ram Temple represents the nadir of Indians' integrity. The judge also suggested the death penalty for offences under the Prevention of Corruption Act. Supreme Court directs Centre and Madhya Pradesh to comply with order on namaz site near Bhojshala complex in letter and spirit. The Supreme Court today directed the Union and Madhya Pradesh governments to comply both in letter and spirit with its July 14 order requiring the authorities to identify a separate open space near the disputed Bhojshala Kamal Maula Mosque complex where members of the Muslim community could offer Friday namaz between 1 pm and 3 pm as an interim arrangement. The direction came after the court was informed that the site identified by the administration was nearly 2 kilometers away. A bench comprising Chief Justice of India Suryakant and Justices Joymala Bagchi and V. Mohana said the authorities were under an obligation to carry out its earlier directions in their entirety. The matter has been listed again on Friday for the court to review compliance. Supreme Court declines interim stay on Speaker's decision to approve Shiv Sena MP's merger with Shinde faction. The Supreme Court today refused to grant an interim stay on Lok Sabha Speaker Om Birla's decision, recognizing the merger of 6 of the 9 Shiv Sena UBT MPs with the rival Shiv Sena faction led by Maharashtra Deputy Chief Minister Eknath Shinde ahead of Parliament's monsoon session. However, the court agreed to hear the challenge to the Speaker's decision after 2 weeks. Shiv Sena UBT leader Arvind Sawant, who filed the petition, argued that the purported merger is unconstitutional and perverse. The bench, however, declined to give any such assurance and posted the matter for hearing after 2 weeks. 21 dead in a day's deluge in Assam, total flood toll at 31. In one of the highest single-day flood-related fatalities recorded in recent times, 21 people lost their lives across 4 districts in Assam yesterday. The situation worsened on July 21 after a brief let-up, affecting 5.65 lakh people across 16 districts. According to official estimates, 31 people have died so far in the current wave of floods, almost half of them in eastern Assam's Shivsagar district. Trump warns Iran of bridge strikes over Hormuz ship attacks. US President Donald Trump has warned Iran that the United States will strike a bridge or power plant each time Tehran fires at a ship in the Strait of Hormuz, as the conflict deepened with fresh American strikes and Iranian missile and drone attacks in the region. The warning came as air defenses opened fire over Tehran. Iran launched missiles towards Jordan's city of Aqaba near Israel, and alerts were issued in Bahrain and Saudi Arabia. Diplomatic efforts have shown little public progress, while the closure of the Strait of Hormuz has continued to disrupt global energy supplies and unsettle markets. US Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth has said that Iran war has cost the US $37.5 billion so far, up from a previous estimate of nearly $29 billion in mid-May. Rubio says Iran's demands over Strait of Hormuz would set a dangerous precedent. The United States and Iran exchanged fire across West Asia today as officials in both nations called into question diplomatic efforts to stop the war as it threatens to again spin out of control. US Secretary of State Marco Rubio warned Asian leaders today that Iran's demand to control and collect tolls in the Strait of Hormuz would threaten the world's economy and the principle of freedom of navigation. Rubio said, and I quote, "If we create a precedent in the Middle East where a nation state can decide that they are going to control an international waterway, charge a toll, and if you don't pay them, blow up your ships, we have created a very dangerous precedent which will repeat itself in other parts of the world, including in this region." Trump approves nuclear agreement that may allow Saudi Arabia to enrich uranium. President Donald Trump has approved an agreement with Saudi Arabia that could potentially provide the kingdom with uranium enrichment capability for its civilian nuclear program. The deal is expected to last 30 years and is also expected to involve US firms in developing the program. US tariffs on Brazil take effect. A new US tariff targeting Brazil took effect today, while Washington's other trading partners brace for a fresh volley of duties as President Donald Trump's temporary global levies expire this week. The 25% Brazil tariff followed a year long US investigation, with Washington accusing the Latin American giant of unfair trade practices. Various products such as beef, coffee, and aircraft parts will be exempted from the tariff, and roughly half of Brazil's exports to the US would remain excluded from the duty. This has drawn sharp pushback, although Brazil's Vice President Geraldo Alckmin told a press conference that Brazil will seek to resolve the issue through negotiations instead of retaliating. That's all we have for you today. We'll be back tomorrow with the latest.